Just when you think race relations in Australia, specifically Indigenous affairs, can't get much worse, they somehow find a way to surprise us. Thank you to the viewers who sent this in. The Herald Sun reported, race row erupts as Indigenous patients given priority at major Melbourne hospital. 3AW ran with the headline, fundamentally wrong, emergency department prioritising Indigenous patients over others. So much for the ethical principle of triage, where the severity of one's injury or illness determines one's priority for treatment, not one's ethnic background. Apparently, that long-standing pillar of medicine has been thrown out the window, at least at one Melbourne hospital. Surprisingly, Australia's most socially progressive Premier, Jacinta Allan, likes the idea, as reported by the Herald Sun. Good example, Allan backs Indigenous fast-track treatment. In Premier Allan's utopian fantasy, Aboriginal people are treated better than all other Victorians, all in the name of equality, or at least her twisted version of it. Shadow Health Minister Georgie Crozier summed up the position perfectly. The triaging of patients should be done on medical need, not based on the colour of your skin. This is the first glimpse at what Jacinta Allan's divisive treaty will look like. So what exactly is going on here? Melbourne's St Vincent's Hospital has told its staff to treat all First Nations patients within 30 minutes of arrival. Basically, Indigenous patients are assigned a minimum Category 3 triage, meaning they must be attended to within half an hour of arrival. Got a sore toe? Category 3. Obviously, this could potentially result in non-Indigenous Category 4 semi-urgent patients or Category 5 non-urgent patients being pushed back in the queue. Some patients are more equal than others, apparently, depending on their cultural background. And if you think this isn't actually having any real-world practical effect, think again. According to the Department of Health, Victorian Public Healthcare Awards finalists, Part 7, Excellence in Aboriginal Health and Wellbeing, they note, minimum Category 3 triage for First Nations patients in the ED, St Vincent's Hospital, Melbourne. First Nations patients are now seen more promptly than non-Indigenous patients. Yes, you are now less equal, or more equal, depending on your bloodline. None of this is too surprising when you take a look at some of the photos they've been posting. Womanjeka, welcome. St Vincent's Hospital, Melbourne wishes to acknowledge that we are on Aboriginal land. Well then, you better give the hospital back. If this isn't your land, by definition, you've illegally built a hospital there. Give it back, or shut up. Let's face it, the hospital is clearly woke. On their Facebook page, they wrote, "We're wearing purple to show LGBT young people they're safe, supported and celebrated at St Vincent's." They also noted a couple of months ago that St Vincent's launches our third Reconciliation Action Plan. This is their action plan titled Stretch. Of course, it's exactly what you'd expect. There's an acknowledgement of country, a lady with purple hair, place names divided up into Aboriginal clan names, some guy doing a smoking ceremony. Surely that's not good for the lungs. Some Aboriginal employees, some more Aboriginal employees, about 500 mentions of the word proud. For example, Lily Mercer, a proud Gadigal woman. Another smoking ceremony? I thought this was a smoke-free campus. A rainbow-coloured yarning circle, and what better way to launch the new yarning circle? The new yarning circle location was launched with a smoking ceremony. Of course it was. In unrelated news, lung cancer has increased by about 3,000% at St Vincent's. But their biggest lie in all of this is their slogan, better and fairer care, always. Fairer? Are they having a laugh? Giving one group of people priority in the emergency department because they happen to have the right ancestral background, that's not fair. That's corrupt. That's morally bankrupt. In the name of helping a minority group, they've marginalised every other Victorian. Perhaps they should keep their noses out of divisive politics and instead stick to healthcare.